Hello, my name is Martin Tully and I'm a sales engineer here at Portnox. And today what I want to do was just give you a little video of how easy it is to get started with Portnox Cloud. So one of the first things you want to do is sign up for our 30-day trial. What this is going to do is actually in the back end allow us to create a tenant for you inside our Azure environment. And once that's created, you'll get an email to activate that tenant. And once you activate that tenant, you will log in based off the credentials that you used in the sign up. And this will land you here in our dashboard. So as we all know in 802.1x, one of the first things we need to do is set up our authentication server. And so that would be our Radius as a service. And to do that, we'll go into settings. And once we get into settings, we'll have a link here that says clear radius service. Now, I've already deployed one here in the US and North America, but you can see here, create a new radius instance. When I click on this, right, you'll see here that I have an option for Europe and Asia. You will have the option for the United States. Obviously, I already set up mine, so that's why it's already there. But basically, all you'll have to do is hit create. And once I hit create, you'll see that as I get this little spinning circle in the back end, we're creating everything that we need for you, your radius IP, your authentication ports, your accounting ports, and a shared secret that you'll be able to put into your network equipment. Once this is done, you'll see that I have all that information there. So there I have my radius IP, I have my authentication port, my accounting port, shared secret, and this is basically what you would need to get started um, and put that into your network equipment. The second piece would be setting up authentication. So we have authentication repositories here on the left-hand side, and we have multiple authentication repositories. We have Open LDAP, we have on-prem Active Directory. For the on-prem Active Directory, you do need to deploy a broker. The broker will create a secure TLS tunnel back to us. This could be installed on the Azure, on your Active Directory, on-prem Active Directory, or any domain joined server. We also integrate with Google Workspace, Azure Active Directory as well as Okta Directory. So you have all of those there at your disposal. The other thing that you can do, the other way to authenticate devices or end users would be through services. And that would be through certificates, sorry. So under services, I'll go on down here to the bottom. And you'll see here that I have my trusted root certificate. I have it set up right here. It's been issued. It'll be issued to your organization. If you have your own PKI server, you can definitely upload that into us, and we can make that a trusted root certificate for you as well. And then as you scroll down here, you'll see here that we can enable SCEP services to deploy out those certificates. So any type of MDM solution that can accept a SCEP URL, we will provide that for you. We have one for Microsoft Intune as well. So we do have integration with Microsoft Intune. So that would be the way to do that. So there you would have your authentication repositories, or again, whether that's going to be certificate-based authentication or username and password authentication. That's where you'll set that up, everything here in settings. If you wanted to create some sort of segregation of employees or users, that would be done here in groups. And then what we do is we'll assign a policy to those groups if we wanted to do any type of dynamic VLAN assignment. So you can see here there is a default group. You'll also see here that I've created some other groups as well. If I take a look at, for instance, here at my wireless, Jamf wireless group, what you'll see here is that I'll have a group here, and here are the members that I can define for that group. And again, based off the authentication repositories that you set up here in settings, that's what you'll see here. So if you only have Active Directory, you'll only see Active Directory here. If you only set up Azure AD, you'll only see Azure AD here. And then again, you would just come in here, you would select your groups that belong here. Let's say I would select this group, I'd move that over to the right. And then basically what I can do is assign settings to that particular group that I've selected in my Active Directory. And then those particular settings that I'm going to do is some access layers, right? So I'm going to say what kind of wireless, if they can connect to the wireless, if they connect wired, VPN, we can also have Okta access. But you can see here that I've set up an SSID called Portnox APE. saying that the users based here in this membership can only log in via certificate. So no username and password, only certificate only. There is other authentication types. So if you want to do credentials, again, you can change this out here very easily by doing this. And if you need to create a Wi-Fi network, you just click on Add Wi-Fi Network. Again, you would put in the SSID here, how the users can authenticate, whether you want to use our agent or agent lists. So you have the ability to do that. In the settings portion, when I was showing the certificate-based authentication, I said that we could definitely distribute out those certificates via SCEP. Another way to distribute out those certificates to endpoints would be to use our agent. So you have the capability to do that from within there. And that is the agent, you can deploy that via silent install without any problems. So you can definitely do that as well. And then basically you can see here, I got some policies that are assigned. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can assign a policy to those end users. You can see here I have access control, risk assessment, and remediation policies. So you can see here what you want to do upon a successful authentication when the user successfully authenticates via wireless. I can put them into a specific VLAN if I want to. So again, I can do that from within here. If it's an authentication violation, again, I do have those options from within here. If it's a risk policy violation, I can do that from within here as well. And then you have risk assessments. These would be if you're using Microsoft Intune or an agent, you can set up a risk assessment policy if needed. You can see here the different flavors of operating systems that the agent can be deployed on. And you can see some of the attributes that you can assign for the agent to take a look at that device. And assign them a score, right? So I can say whether or not I'm going to block this. You can see here running services is 100. And so you can see here, anything here would be from 90 to 100 would be a block. And then based off my access control policies, again, maybe I can just put them in a VLAN that would just give them internet access. So those would be the policies there. The other portion that we do have here is we do have the ability to do self-onboarding. So this is great for BYOD devices. You would enable this here, and here is that link that you could deploy out, and basically the user would authenticate based, again, off the authentication repositories that you set up. It'll take them over to Azure AD, they can authenticate, then they'll get a profile that they can download onto their device. There's also integration services, again, so if you want to do more integration services with Microsoft Intune, Okta, or SIM solutions, we can definitely do that from within here. You can see that. And then once we've set that all up, right, we'll have basically all the devices that are coming online. So you can see here some of the devices that I've deployed in my tenant. So you can see here's my MacBook, right? This is a device that was authenticated via certificate, so I can see that from within here very quickly and easily. So these will be all the devices and what groups they got assigned to. You can see here you have plenty of filters. And then you'll have alerts. So anything that happens here, you would see any type of alerts that are happening here. So again, just a quick overview of how to get started with Portnox Cloud. If you have any questions, please reach out to your account executive. And so I thank you for your time and have a great day.